very much, ladies. And again, if you have written testimony that you'd like to submit, the clerk can take it and make copies for the committee members, because you can see some folks aren't here at the moment to hear that. And I'd urge folks too, it's fine to read if that's what you need to do to be able to get through that, but I'd urge folks, again, feel free to, summarize, emphasize things that are maybe in there that you might not have a chance to say otherwise along the way. Let's have Henry Walker, please. And let me read off, let's see, we'll also have, Eugenia Marks and Robert Mallin. And while they come up, I'm going to read off other folks that have signed up in favor but not speaking. We've got Christy Gardner from Newport, Rhode Island in favor, not speaking. Elizabeth Barker from Newport in favor, not speaking. I believe NPTRI is Newport, Rhode Island. Is that the intent there? Okay. We've also got Kara Orkaya D. Camilo from Newport in favor, not speaking. Thais Taransky. Newport from Newport not speaking in favor. John Glasheen from the UU Legislative Ministry of Rhode Island in favor, not speaking. Catherine Gibson from the RIIPL in favor, uncertain whether she's speaking. So maybe I'll give her another chance if she wants to in a minute there. Why don't we start from, again, Robert, why don't we start with you since you're on the leftmost side there.
Thank you, Chairman, and committee, for hearing on this very important issue. I live in Charlestown, and the devastation is every day. But the part of the coastline is on that gets emphasized doesn't speak to the fact that inundation is a huge problem throughout the state. Every time it rains now, the water piles up everywhere, and it drains into whatever is low, and a lot of those low areas were areas that were easy to develop because they were fields, farmers' fields. And I've seen areas in western Cranston, West Cranston, for example, where the yards look like ponds. You can just go through a whole neighborhood and you can just see it looks like a wetland. And this is and just not particular to Cranston. My brother-in-law lives in Coventry, and he had water springing out of the wall in the basement because of hydrostatic pressure. And he lives up on top of a hill. So I just wanted to point out that that this is just the beginning of what is a very serious problem. I wanted to say one point about the IPCC report that has come out, or that came out, is that they described the next 20 years as the era of climate change. What is going to define the era? So how we react in Rhode Island with our legislation, whether we're ready, whether we have a plan, is going to be whether we looked like we knew what we were doing or we were just waiting until it could be too late. Another little impact that was in the report is it's possible at the rate that we're going that there will be no more shell fishing. And think about what that means to Rhode Island. Again, maybe these are South County things that I see more, but a lot of people are fishermen down there. We already can see the winter flounder are gone. So how we react is important. Having a renewable energy future, though, is a bright future, because these fossil fuels are eventually going to have to pay to clean up their environment, and the costs are going to go up. And the more we have renewables in our business environment, and the more we'll be ready for the future. If it's up to me, we would be building these here as well. So it's a good business to be ready for the future. If you look at the telephone, the telegraph, or any of the other innovations, the people who were ready and on top of it were the ones who wound up ahead of the game. And I'd like to see Rhode Island there. The EPA also needs this act in order to be able to help us find money to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. I was on a call with Gina McCarthy with the Sierra Club, and she was talking about money that was going to be made available and was being made available. But if you don't have a plan, especially when we're between two states that do have plans. First of all, they're both going to qualify, but we're not going to qualify for the majority of the money because of the way that the energy buying happens is regional. So we're dragging down our neighbors, and we're going to be cutting the legs out from under ourselves by not having this. My final point that I wanted to make is that Rhode Island, I read a study in USA Today, which is known for having great graphics, and they had a Gallup study, and Rhode Island is number 2 of all the states in the Union of the people who believe that climate change is man-made and is real and is happening now. So this is a disconnect between the legislature and what the people know. Not maybe the people who get loudest on the radio, but on the people, on what is there. So this is really acting to the things that the people here already know. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Mallin? Thank you very much, Rob.